Actually, I was thinking, that song made me think. It says, God is my source. What do you think that means? And I'm actually asking for anybody who wants to just say a couple of words on it. What do you think God is my source means?
Power and strength.
Power and strength. I heard everything. Sorry? What else?
Hope.
Hope. Wonderful.
Where you go and everything, there's a solution. He has a solution for everything.
Absolutely.
Companionship.
Companionship. Beautiful.
Healing.
Say that again?
Healing.
Healing. Absolutely. Well, I think our class is done. Everybody's got some good ideas. No, but seriously, yes. If we say that God is our source, what is there that could be outside of that? We in Unity have our first principle that says there is only one presence and one power in the universe, and that is that God. And our second principle goes along with this first one, that it says that we are part of that divinity, that we have that spark of divinity within us. To me, that tells me that means technically we are God too, aren't we? I mean, even Jesus quoted the Old Testament saying, haven't I told you that you are gods, when they were questioning him? So if God is the source and we are part of the source, is there anything that we could ever really need that we don't have? Now, why is it that we always go around, well, I'll speak for myself, most of my life I went around thinking that I was not worthy. Did anybody else feel like that at any time during their lives? Oh, good, I'm not the only one. There's a couple of you also. It looks like we're in the minority though, but that's fine. Why do we think we're not worthy? I think it's many reasons, of course. If you think at your life, you grew up in this part of the country, the neighborhood, you had certain parents, certain teachers, certain things happen to you, and you feel that you're not worthy. And yes, unfortunately, I think for a lot of us, we also grew up in what we call nowadays a fundamental church that told us that we were born in sin. One of the things that really caught my attention when I came here to Unity was when I heard that that is not true. We are all born in blessing. In the very first book of the Bible, Genesis, after God created something, what did he say? It was good, including when he created Adam and Eve. So how could we have been born in sin if God himself, herself is saying that we are good? So we don't need to go around thinking that we're not enough, that we don't deserve something. Even when we think we have done something to become good at, there's times that we think, if they only knew, I'm not really that good. I've shared before that before coming to Orlando, I grew up in New York. I was in a band, and I was the bass player. And I had people making really good comments about how I played, but I did not believe them. I did not want to believe that I was good enough. And I think that was part of the reason why I did not continue with music. But I thought to myself, since I have the opportunity to become an audio engineer, at least I'll be around music. That's how I was thinking back then, because I did not think I was enough. And of course, I'm sure we can think of I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's certain musicians, certain music that we think, really? I could do better than that. Even if you're not a musician, you might think that. Speaking of wanting something or needing something, why do you think nobody wanted to fight Goliath? Because it seemed like a giant ordeal. So, okay, I'll stop with the dad jokes for now. So, how do we remind ourselves that we are indeed enough, that we are worthy to be anything? Luckily for us, we are here in unity, and you may have heard them, or if not, you will soon. We have the 5 principles. I already mentioned the first 2. God is all there is. Number 2, we are part of that divinity. And to remind ourselves, principle 3 is about our thoughts. An easy way to say is, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. What is it that you're going around day to day thinking about who or what you are? Try to align yourselves, your thoughts, with God, since you are part of God, aren't you? And if you want even better help with your thoughts, we have principle number 4 of prayer and meditation. As most of you probably know, unity was founded on prayer. The way we think of prayer and unity is basically saying affirmations of truth. And it has nothing to do with your body, your physical. In your spiritual self, your true self, you can say statements of truth that will align with God. And of course, we got prayer and meditation. We like to say that prayer is speaking to God, and meditation is listening to God. So that's why it's very important to have both. You can't just be praying and praying and praying and not waiting, not going into silence to listen. Listen to that still small voice. If you're going around praying but don't stop to listen, what good is it, right? When we go into silence, we can do it so that we can hear the guidance, that source that God has given us. I like to say that you should make it a practice to be consistent with it, to get disciplined with it. Do it every day, no matter what. Even if it's just a couple of minutes. If you have more time, go for a full half hour or an hour. I know of people that do it for 2 hours. I'll be honest with you, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to do that kind of thing. But I take time, any chance I get. If you have a normal job, I say normal, when you go on your breaks, when you go on a lunch break or whatever, consider that a time of silence. You'd be surprised what happens. If you're like me, I get a lot of my intuitions, I'm going to call them, when I'm in the shower. There's something about that. Because you're not thinking about anything else, you're just focusing on getting yourself that shower. And then something pops in your head. What do you think you should do once something pops in your head and you know it's more than just your ego self? Any takers?
Act on it.
Exactly. Guess what? That's principle number 5. Take action. It's not good enough just to know all the other principles. You need to act on it. If you don't act on it, it's the same as not knowing them, right? So think about a time that you maybe had some adversity and you came through it on the other side. What happened? after you went through it, what would you say you came out as, or what did you learn from it after that? I'll take anybody calling it out, just could be a couple of words. How do you feel after everything was good after the adversity? Any take? Sorry? Grateful. Sorry? Relief. Accomplishment. Yep. Anybody else? Sorry? Hope. Exactly again. So think about that. If we're going through adversity and then on the other side of that, we are better for it, what do you think we should be practicing? Gratitude, right? I mean, it was said. We need to be grateful for that. So no matter what happens, think about, we are the ones that call something good or bad. But we really don't know why we're going through a challenge, an adversity. We've heard of many people around the world that after a challenge and after an adversity, they actually go on to do good things for the world. Who here has heard of Nelson Mandela? Right? I mean, I don't know if I can be in a prison for my ideals for 27 years and come out and want to bless everybody that put me in jail. That's a little tough one. But because of that, he's called the father of South Africa for that reason. You may have heard also of that young girl that got shot by the Taliban because she wanted to get education. Malala Yousafzai. And after that, yes, she was in the hospital. They could have easily killed her, but thankfully she was saved. And now, ever since then, she's been going all over the world, being an advocate for children's education. How blessed are we for that? This is going to sound awful, but maybe we got the Taliban to thank for that. You know? What is that expression? What man meant for evil, God means exactly. So let's be grateful for everything that happens to us. And after you go through that, trust that divine guidance, that whatever it is that you're supposed to do, you will do. And this is going to sound a little contradictory also, but instead of worrying about after you learn from something and you think maybe I should do something with this, help others, not to be too worried about what is it that you are to do. I would say get centered in yourself first and ask yourself this question. What am I? Who am I? I'd like us all to take a deep breath right now and consider this question for a moment. What am I? And I'll take any feedback from you. I'd like you to, whatever comes up for you, say, I am, and tell me what it is that comes up for you as to what you are. What am I? Divine. Love. God's perfect creation. I heard something else? Sorry? Blessed. Sacred. Yes. All those we can kind of put together into one single little statement. And I'd like us all to say it together. I'll say it first, and then I'll ask you to say it with me. I am a child of God. Together? I am a child of God. How does that feel? Do you feel worthy now? I hope you do. If not, keep working at it. So guess what? If we know that we are part of God, that God is within, that we truly are. There's no separation between God and ourselves. We need to realize that we truly are worth it to do anything, whatever it is that we need to do, whatever it is that we need to be. Even if you need to start a project, build a business. By the way, who do you think in the Bible had the best business plans? The prophets. I'll give you a second to get it. So yes, I want you to trust your source, because that source is who and what you are. I don't know about you, but for the most part, when I feel something that is an intuition, and actually we even say the phrase, a gut feeling. If you feel that something in your gut, trust it. Your gut is very close to your heart. I'm sure some of you have heard of the Heart Math Institute by now. And I like how they explain that we need to get out of our mind. And a simple physical reason why is when we're in our mind, think about our mind has two hemispheres. So when you're in your mind, you're always going one way or the other. There's always these two thoughts that when you think of something, then you got that thought of the ego coming back and saying, maybe you're not supposed to be doing that. But if you go down to your heart, which is right by your gut, there's only one heart, right? So if you get that feeling, there is nothing opposing it. So trust your source, trust your God, trust your Christ within. I would like to leave you with something that the late Pope Francis said. And I'm going to read this so I don't confuse it. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself. And flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is the nature of life. We are all born to help each other. No matter how difficult it is, life is good when you are happy, but it is much better when you are in service to each other and you make others happy. Thank you.